There are two things that takes you towards that death. One is accumulation of toxins in your body that develops disease later on. Second one is your unaware breath. You breathe too many breaths too short and it all counts. So if you are able to elongate your breath, like tortoise can live 150 to 200 years because tortoise only breathes maybe 1 or 2 breaths in a minute. By performing Kriya Yoga, you can heal your body and the disease in your body. You can eliminate the pains in your body, purify your blood, calm your mind so you are able to perform whatever you're doing with more mindfulness and more awareness. Chapter 26, The Science of Kriya Yoga, page 263. The science of Kriya Yoga, mentioned so often in these pages, became widely known in modern India through instrumentality of Lahiri Mahashaya, my Guru's Guru, Yogananda ji say. The Sanskrit root of Kriya is Kri, to do, to act, to perform action, and react. The same root is found in the word karma, the natural principle of cause and effect. What you do, so shall you reap. And yoga is thus union or unification with the infinite through a certain action or right, which is Kriya. So Kriya Yoga is unification with the infinite by performing the action. Now there is a physical action and there is a subtle action. Okay. So you bend your body around, that's a physical action, but also your awareness is working in different parts. So that is, you're performing a subtle action. Ultimately, you will leave the body and you are only connected to the subtle body and merging in the infinite. A yogi who faithfully practices the technique is gradually freed from karma or the law full chain of cause-effect equilibriums. Now we have just witnessed an explanation when you bend your back in certain ways, how it activates your centers and where the karmas or past unresolved traumas are buried in your body. Okay. By performing certain actions, you are pushing them out, which means expanding your spiritual firepower or spiritual energy. Because of certain ancient yogic injunctions, I may not give a full explanation of Kriya Yoga in a book intended for the general public. While you are into the initiation process, I will not actually speak while we are recording. When we stop the recording, then I give you the Kriya, which you have witnessed. The actual technique should be learned from an authorized Kriyavan. Who's Kriyavan? The one who is initiated into Kriya and has been authorized by the master. Okay, Kriya Yoga is a simple psychophysiological method by which human blood is decarbonated and recharged with oxygen. The atoms of this extra oxygen are transmuted into life current to rejuvenate the brain and spinal centers. Spinal centers are your chakras. So he's used the word spinal center because he's sitting in the Western world. And those times the chakras and all these were, people were very say, no. So he's deliberately using that language so people can understand that this is based on science and nothing to do with any religion. And which is true. Spirituality is not about any religion. It's about you and how you are living in this body. By stopping the accumulation of venous blood, the yogi is able to lessen or prevent the decay of tissues. The advanced yogi transmutes his cells into energy. Aliha, Jesus, Kabir, and other prophets were past masters in the use of Kriya or a similar technique by which they caused their bodies to materialize and dematerialize at will. Kriya is an ancient science. Lahiri Mahashaya received it from his great guru Babaji, who rediscovered and clarified the technique after it had been lost in the dark ages. Babaji renamed it simply Kriya Yoga. The Kriya Yoga that I am giving to the world through you in this 19th century, Babaji told Lahiri Mahashay, is a revival of the same science that Krishna gave millenniums ago to Arjun. And that was later known to Patanjali, who gave you Ashtanga Yoga, eight-limbed yoga, and Christ, and to Saint John, Saint Paul, and other disciples. So they perform the same Kriya which you are receiving. Kriya Yoga is twice referred to by Lord Krishna, and the Bhagavad Gita was written thousands of years ago. Okay? India's greatest prophet. Now he's using the word prophet, because Western world understand the word prophet, but we use the word Bhagwan or a Lord. One stanza reads, offering the inhaling breath into the exhaling breath, and offering the exhaling breath into the inhaling breath, the yogi neutralizes both breaths. Thus, he releases pranas from the heart and brings life force under his control. The interpretation is the yogi arrests decay in the body by securing an additional supply of prana, life force, through quietening the action of the lungs and heart. He also arrests mutations of growth in the body by control of apana, eliminating current, thus neutralizing decay and growth. The yogi learns life force. So here what is happening, there are two things that takes you towards the death. One is carbonization of your body or accumulation of toxins in your body that develops disease later on, right? Second one is your unaware breath. You breathe too many breaths too short and it all counts. So if you are able to elongate your breath, like tortoise can live 150 to 200 years because tortoise only breathes maybe 1 or 2 breaths in a minute, right? Whereas the humans breathe how much? 15 breaths a minute, something. Okay. And smaller animals like birds, they say the heart is tick, 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 breathe so many breaths in a minute. So if you are able to stop your breath or slow down your breath, which means you are able to retain your life force energy longer, right? That means arteries are carrying more oxygen. That means veins are carrying less toxins. Yes, if you want to know the scientific reason. So you stop the decay by decarbonization of your body. By elongating the breath, you are invoking more oxygen, which means more life force energy. So by performing Kriya Yoga, you can heal your body and the disease in your body. You can eliminate the pains in your body, purify your blood, calm your mind, so you are able to perform whatever you're doing with more mindfulness and more awareness. Another Gita stanza says, this meditation expert, Muni, this meditation expert becomes eternally free. Muni means expert, means the student. The student of Kriya Yoga becomes eternally free, who, seeking the supreme goal, is able to withdraw from external phenomena by fixing his gaze within the mid-spot of the eyebrows and by neutralizing the even currents of prana and apan. So here is talking about the Shambhavi. Here it is not spoken about Shambhavi, but it's a decode of the scriptures. So by performing, fixing your gaze, it says fixing your gaze in the middle of eyebrows. So in the gaze of eyebrows, but actually your awareness is what I explained you yesterday. You are somewhere else. Your people might be saying you are watching outside, but you're not watching outside. Your gaze is somewhere else. So by doing this and performing the Kriya, basically your inhale and exhale, they cancel each other. And then you enter into the breathless state. When you enter into the breathless state, that means now your mind is completely dissolved in your breath. So in one of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika in Guru Machendra Nath Ji, couple of thousand years, he says the aim is to achieve the inner harmony and merge that harmony with the universal harmony, which we call supreme consciousness. Yes, this is how you will activate the universe. If you resonate with the universe, that means your vibration and the universal vibrations are same. So by performing this, the yogi enters into the breathless state. That means the pran and apan, the inhale and exhale, they coexist together. That means nothing exists. So only the life force is happening, but you are into the breathless state. By going into the breathless state, now your awareness is expanding. In one of the Gorakhnath Shatchakram I was reading the other day, he's saying, your soul is tied to your pranas, tied to your inhale and exhale. But you must cut the barrier of inhale and exhale. Just like if the pigeon wants to fly and you have a string attached to the pigeon will only go up to how long the string is. Yes? So you actually are tied to your breath. You can only go as far as your breath will allow you to go. But I know I am infinite. So that means I must have a strength of infinity within me. So I must find a way to detach myself from the breath so I can expand. So every time you go inhale and you say, and exhale, you come back. How far can you go? Even if I say inhale, hold your breath and keep expanding. So you can hold your breath, you're imagining expansion. Ultimately, you come back. But imagine there is no breath sitting. Now, how far can you go? There is no limit to it. So, by fixing his gaze within the mid spot of the eyebrows, well, this is for people who will think, okay, I am going to do meditation by fixing my gaze in the eye spot. Well, he's focusing somewhere. Outward action. Bahyamukhi. Whereas Kriya is about internal, antarmukhi. The internal gaze we are talking about. So able to withdraw from external phenomena by fixing his gaze within the mid spot of the eyebrows and by neutralizing the even currents, which is inhale and exhale, within the nostrils and lungs, and to control his sensory mind. Again, he's controlling his sensory mind and intellect. We were speaking about intellect and mind. And to banish desire, fear, and anger. Krishna also relates that it was he, in a former incarnation, who communicated indestructible yoga to an ancient Illuminati. Vivaswat is a very ancient sage who gave it to Manu, the great legislator. He in turn instructed Ikshvaku, the founder of India's solar warrior dynasty. Passing this from one to another, the royal yoga was guarded by the sages until the coming of the materialistic ages. Then, because of the priestly secrecy and man's indifference, the sacred lore gradually became inaccessible. So, the whole history of Kriya Yoga, it's before Jesus Christ, Babaji, Krishna consciousness is coming from Ikshvaku and Manu and Vivaswat. So ancient, and you are receiving that. So you must have performed certain very beautiful karmas, either this life or past life, and when the time has come, Babaji brought you here. The Bhagavad Gita, the science, the spirituality never says run away from your responsibility and not perform the task. Karmanne vahidikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana. That perform the karmas. Don't worry about the fruit. You are here to perform your duties. And based on the duty, whatever is waiting for you will come to you. But when you say, I want to do this and I want to have that result, that is where disappointment is. So desire and wish. One is a desire which we called asakti, and the other one is called virakti. Yeah, asakti, you understand? And one is virakti. Asakti is that I have eaten and I want to eat more. The greed is there, my mind is there, and I want to have more. Asakti in the money. How much money you want? You want more. You want more. How much power you want? You want more. You want more. How much influence you want? You want more, 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 more. That is asakti, that you are not getting contentful for what you have. One is virakti. Virakti, that whatever money I have, thank you, Lord, for this. Okay, you need help? Okay, you're not holding on to it, but you are using it to help others as well because you are not attached to it. That is called virakti. Okay, this is called a vairagya, the detachment, the renouncement, the inner renouncement, the true yogi. So when you are operating, or when you don't have a master or a guru, and you're operating through the mind in the material world, you will develop asakti. Asakti means more desires, 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 desires. And when you have a guru, or when you have an inner illumination is happening, when you have an inner guidance, then you will have a virakti, detachment. Then you will eat the food, and you know that this food is for body. And you will not get into the guilt mode, what you're eating, what you're drinking, because that's for the body. But if you are using without understanding, if you're using, a God is eating, so I can eat this and I can eat that. No. That over smartness doesn't work. So in the scriptures, when we read the Durga Saptashati, the divine knowledge of mother, where there are 700 slokas to kill your enemies, your devils sitting in each chakra. When we do the Navratra, when you enter into here, one of the devil's name is Rakta Bij. Rakta means blood. Bij means the seed. So there was this devil who meditated and got powers and said that I need a boon that no one should be able to kill me. I increase my power. Everyone tries to harm me. I increase my power. So what God says, tathastu, so be it. So devil becomes corrupted. That's how it's called devil. And he started killing everyone else. Whoever wants to kill, wherever his blood fall, another Raktabij stands. Okay. So the gods and all these divines and all that, he attacked them as well. So everyone tries to chop, and wherever the blood falls, another Raktabij stands, another Raktabij stands. So from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, started increasing. So there is a panic among everywhere. What to do now? They run to the mother. They run to mother, please come and save us. This Raktabij is destroying us. And when we try to kill him, he is increasing in number. He's growing strength day by day. What to do? So the mother Kali comes, the Kali. So she does one, and the blood falls, another Raktabij stands. So then the mother takes a ball, black ball, in her hand, and the sword in one hand. And she slays him. As the blood goes up, she collects and drinks. Drinks and drinks and drinks. And this is how she killed the Raktabij. Raktabij in metaphorical way. Now that is a story in the scriptures to make people understand. But actually Raktabij is nothing but your desires. So one desire comes, you want to kill the desire. Okay, I want to eat that. Okay, I want to take a drink. Take a drink. All right. Maybe another drink. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling more hungry, so maybe I'll have some meat with it. Okay. Maybe I will smoke as well. Maybe let's go to casino now. I go to this. And it starts increasing. The Rakta Bij is increasing. The more you try to kill your desire, the more they increase. So you have to manage your desires. How? By wisdom. So when you see the statue of Kali outside, her tongue is out and held within the teeth, white teeth. That teeth denotes the wisdom, white. Tongue denotes the desire. I can control my desires through my wisdom. And I can kill the desire, drink it inside. That's what that represents. So every one of us, when we have a wisdom, we have that within us. So it's time for you to contemplate on your life. What kind of life are you living? What are you running after? What is it that you are chasing? And the question is, if you are chasing the money, ask yourself, how much you actually want? Okay, I want $10 million. All right. Let us say that 10 million happens to you tomorrow. What will you do after that? You will never seek money. You will seek more because 10 million has been digested. You have tasted it. Now you know there is more taste beyond it and more and more. So billionaires out there, they're making more money. But are you ready to give that money to someone who needs it? No, I earned it. This is my money. And that is called asakti. So when you have more desires, it will give you the possessiveness. This is mine. I earned it. It's my car, my house, my business, my money, my power. And when you want more and you don't get it, it gives rise to anger within you. I have to have it no matter what. And then it gives rise to jealousy when your neighbors have it and you don't have it. And then you want to control it and say, no, my lifestyle is there. I have to have it. I can't live without this. That is possessiveness. I can't live without it is a delusion. And that is where Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Das bastula pache pave, ik bast karan bikhot gwaave, ik bina de das bihale, to muda ko kaha kare. The fifth master of Sikhism says that God has given you 10 things that you asked. You are not looking at them, but you are complaining about one thing that He has not given you. And you all the time focusing on, I don't have that, I don't have that, I don't have that. But what you have, you're not paying attention, you're not in gratitude. What if one thing that you are seeking is not given to you, never given to you? And 10 things, 10 blessings are given, they are also taken back. Oh, foolish person, what will you then do? Attitude of gratitude will bring you humility. Okay? Everything is related. Through Kriya Yoga, you can relate, but everything, if you are powerful and if you are not humble, the power is going to corrupt your mind. Kriya Yoga is mentioned twice by the ancient sage Patanjali, foremost exponent of yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, who wrote, Kriya Yoga consists of body discipline, mental control, and meditating on Om. We start with the Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, 8. It starts with discipline. Wake up in the morning. What time? Wake up, take shower, meditate. If you can't have discipline in your life and you are imagining, visualizing a union with the infinite, forget it. It will not happen because there is no discipline. You don't value your words. You don't value yourself. And if you don't value yourself, how can you value or respect anyone else? Do you understand? and meditating on Om. Why Om? Because it's a cosmic sound. Christians named it as Amen. It's actually Om. Om, Amen. Same sound. Or Muslims call it Allah. Start with A, represents the whole ether. Patanjali speaks of God as the actual cosmic sound of Om that is heard in meditation. Om is the creative word, the word of the vibratory motor, the witness of divine presence. Even the beginner in yoga may soon hear the wondrous sound of Om. Through this blissful spiritual encouragement, he becomes convinced that he is in the communion with the supernal realms. Patanjali refers a second time to the Kriya technique or life force control. Thus, liberation can be attained by the pranayama, which is accomplished by disjoining the course of inspiration and expiration, inhale and exhale. Okay?